Once upon a time, in a small village called OFIYA, there lived a girl named Amaka. Amaka lost her mother while she was still a baby due to complications related to childbirth. Amaka's father, Musa, remarried when Amaka was 4 years old to a woman named Mariam. Mariam was a charming woman, and Amaka was very happy to have a little sister and wanted to be everything an older sister could be. However, Mariam prevented her from approaching her daughter and constantly reminded her that she had no mother. Amaka cried and reported this to her father Musa, who couldn't do much because Mariam had taken control of him. Years passed, and the girls grew into beautiful young women. Mariam ensured that Amaka did all the chores, including going to the farm to fetch firewood and to the stream to fetch water. With little food, while AWA stayed at home doing nothing, enjoying all the available treats. Musa regretted remarrying and soon developed high blood pressure, which eventually led to his death due to constant worries. Amaka was left alone in the cold world as an orphan and was treated very poorly by Mariam and AWA. The Prince of OFIYA had left the village at the age of 6 to pursue his primary, secondary, and tertiary education abroad. It was time for him to return home, as it was customary in OFIYA to choose a wife. The king's trusted secretary, Isa, was tasked with selecting 6 beautiful young girls to be at the palace upon the prince's return in 2 months. Isa selected AWA, Amaka, and 4 other beautiful girls from the village. They all started preparing to be beautiful, hoping that the prince might choose one of them to be the future queen of OFIYA. Mariam decided to treat Awa's skin to make it as radiant as a mirror. She bought various skincare products and ensured not to miss any of her routines. Awa's skin became as fresh as milk, easily described as glowing. Amaka was given more work and ordered to bathe once every 2 days to appear sickly, dry, and unpresentable before the prince for immediate exclusion. One of the villagers, named Salima, noticed what Mariam and AWA were doing to Amaka. She told them, "Mother and daughter, what you are doing to Amaka is completely wrong and unacceptable. The world is a vicious circle and totally unpredictable. This girl's future is unknown to you and might be brighter than your daughter's. Please stop this mistreatment before it's too late." Mariam responded, "God forbid. My daughter's future is assured, and Amaka will never match up to her." AWA added, "Salima, it is evident you don't wish me well, so please leave now." Salima replied, "May the earth, trees, and everything around us be witnesses that I have warned you." One day remained before the selected girls were to go to the palace. Amaka was very happy because she would finally be free from work for 2 good months, have access to good food and daily baths. Confined in her room, she made a small prayer, saying with tears streaming down her cheeks, "Lord, I entrust pregnant women to your hands so they do not die, leaving their children in this cold world. Keep them alive to raise their children, and may their children not end up like me, Amaka, who works from morning to night without food and only takes a bath every 2 days, with no good clothes, shoes, friends, father or mother, just me." She stopped and cried for a long time, then concluded her prayer, "Let your will for my life be done as I move to the palace tomorrow." The day arrived. Awa had packed all her beautiful clothes, jewellery and skincare products in her box, while Amaka had no box or good clothes to take. She decided to go with what she was wearing because the only important thing for her was to leave the house. As she stepped out to join AWA, Mariam ordered her back inside. For the first time, Amaka questioned her orders and asked why. Mariam responded with a violent slap. "So you want to go to the palace to tell them you work from morning till night without being fed, and that you wear one dress to make them believe I don't take care of you? Huh, which?" Amaka said, "Mother, please." Mariam interrupted. "I am not your mother. Your lazy, weak mother is in the grave. If you have something to say to your mother, then find her grave." She then turned to her daughter Owa and said, "When they ask you where Amaka is at the palace, tell them she said the king, the prince, the elders, and the people of OFIYA can all go to hell, that she is not interested." Awa told Amaka, "Oh, poor girl, try to have a mother in your next life." She then took her box and left for the palace. Amaka's hope of leaving the house was shattered, and for the first time, she felt like ending it all right then, but she found nothing to execute her thoughts. At that moment, Salima appeared and asked what had happened. Mariam said, "Nothing happened, madam. Go back home." Salima then turned to Amaka and asked what she was still doing at home without being dressed while her mates were already at the palace. Amaka found the courage to tell Salima how her stepmother had forced her to sit and how she worked from morning to night with little or no food, and how she was also forced to bathe once every 2 days. She also mentioned that what she wore was the best of all her clothes. Salima turned to Mariam and said, "Woman, where is your conscience? You were supposed to be a pillar of support, a guide, and a mother to this young girl to whom life has not been kind. But you decided to be her nightmare. How do you sleep at night knowing you live under the same roof with someone who hasn't eaten or taken a bath? How? Mariam's child is your counterpart." At that moment, Amaka was so broken that she said to Salima, "Please, madam, how can I die now because I can't continue living in this miserable world?" "Never say that again," said Salima. "You are a child of destiny, and no matter what Mariam and Awa plan to do, you must fulfill your destiny." She then turned to Mariam and said, "If you don't let her go immediately, I will personally report you to the king, and AWA, your daughter, will be expelled, and both of you will be severely punished." But little did Amaka know, her journey was only just beginning. Find out what happens next in part 2.